Marcus Chen wiped the grease from his weathered hands as he stared at the repair order on his tablet. 43 years of fixing everything from mining haulers to luxury yachts, and now this. One final job before his retirement party tomorrow. The docking bay supervisor had been apologetic about the last-minute assignment, but the client was paying triple rates for emergency repairs. "Dock in Bay 47, Marcus muttered, shouldering his toolkit. "Never seen that one before." The outer. Rim bays were rarely used, reserved for ships that preferred discretion over convenience. As Marcus approached Bay 47, he noticed the unusual electromagnetic dampening fields, military-grade by the look of them. His curiosity piqued as the massive doors slid open with a pneumatic hiss. What he saw inside made him drop his toolkit. The ship was unlike anything in his 4 decades of experience. Sleek obsidian surfaces curved impossibly, seeming to bend light around them. Strange geometric patterns pulsed, with a soft amber glow along the hull. Most unsettling of all, the ship appeared to be breathing, expanding and contracting rhythmically, as if it were alive. "Holy mother of—" Marcus began, then caught himself. Professional to the end, even facing the impossible. A holographic interface materialized before him, displaying text in perfect standard English. "Biological interface detected. Initiating communication protocol." The voice that followed was melodious, yet alien, emanating from the ship itself. "Greetings, Marcus Chen, Terran repair specialist. We have monitored your career with great interest." Marcus's hand instinctively reached for his emergency beacon, then stopped. Whatever this was, it knew his name and apparently his reputation. "You're the ship, the one needing repairs?" "Indeed. We are the Synthesis, a biomechanical entity of the Ethereal Collective. We have traveled far to reach this station, and our regenerative matrices have suffered damage from cosmic radiation exposure." Marcus circled the vessel slowly, his trained eye noting areas where the living metal seemed dulled, patches where the organic components appeared stressed. Despite his amazement, his professional instincts kicked in. "I've never worked on anything like this before. I'm not sure my tools—" "Your tools will suffice," the Synthesis interrupted gently. "But it is not your equipment we require. It is your essence." "My what now?" "Humans possess something unique in the galaxy, Marcus Chen. Where other species see problems, you see puzzles. Where others see impossibility, you see challenges to overcome. We have studied your species for decades, watching as you repair what others discard, as you find solutions where others see only failure." The ship's breathing intensified, and Marcus noticed several sections of hull had begun to open like flower petals, revealing the intricate biomechanical systems within. It was beautiful and terrifying simultaneously, organic neural networks interwoven with crystalline computational matrices, all pulsing with that same amber light. 3 years ago, the Synthesis continued, you repaired a Centauri freighter that 5 other specialists had declared beyond salvation. You used parts from 4 different manufacturers, some dating back decades, and created hybrid systems that shouldn't have worked by any engineering standard, yet they did. Marcus remembered that job. The freighter's owner had been desperate, carrying medicine to a plague-stricken colony. Marcus had worked for 36 hours straight, cannibalizing parts and jury-rigging solutions that would have made his engineering professors weep. Last year, you fixed a Martian mining vessel using nothing but scrap metal and determination when its life support failed in deep space. 17 miners owe their lives to your refusal to accept defeat. I was just doing my job, Marcus said, quietly, running his hand along one of the ship's exposed neural pathways. The surface was warm, almost inviting. No, Marcus Chen. You were being human. This is why we chose you for our final repair. Final repair? The ship's glow dimmed slightly. Our species is dying. We have grown too dependent on perfection, too rigid in our thinking. Our ships heal themselves, our systems self-optimize, our problems solve themselves through predetermined algorithms. We have forgotten how to adapt, how to improvise. Marcus began to understand. You need someone who thinks outside the box. We need someone who doesn't even acknowledge the existence of the box, the synthesis replied. Our regenerative matrices are failing because they cannot adapt to the specific radiation signature of this stellar region. Every logical solution we have computed leads to system failure. We require intuition, innovation, the spark of illogical creativity that makes humans the most feared engineers in the galaxy. Marcus couldn't help but laugh at that. Feared? We're barely a level 2 civilization. Level classifications measure technology, not ingenuity. A level 7 civilization would design a perfect solution and implement it flawlessly. But if that solution fails, they are lost. A human would use duct tape, spare parts, and sheer bloody-mindedness to make it work anyway. For the next 6 hours, Marcus worked like he never had before. The synthesis guided him through its biomechanical systems, but the solutions came from decades of experience troubleshooting the impossible. He rerouted neural pathways using techniques borrowed from starship wiring. He stabilized failing organic components with synthetic polymers that had no business working in biological systems. Most importantly, he taught the ship's consciousness to embrace imperfection as a feature, not a flaw. As the repairs neared completion, the ship's breathing became stronger, more regular. The amber glow brightened, and new patterns began flowing across the hull. "How do you feel?" Marcus asked, stepping back to admire his work. "Alive," the synthesis whispered. "For the first time in centuries, truly alive. You have given us more than repairs, Marcus Chen. You have given us hope." The ship began to lift from the docking cradle, its impossible curves seeming to dance in the bay's artificial gravity. "Wait," Marcus called out. "Where will you go?" "Back to our people, to share what we have learned. That sometimes the most elegant solution is the one that shouldn't work but does anyway. That perfection is not the enemy of progress. Stagnation is." As the synthesis departed, Marcus stood alone in the empty docking bay, coveralls still stained with alien biofluids and human determination. Tomorrow would bring his retirement party, a gold watch, and probably some boring hobby to fill his days. But tonight, he had reminded the galaxy why humans were the best damn engineers in the universe, not because they built perfect machines, but because they fixed impossible ones. And sometimes, Marcus reflected with a smile, that made all the difference.